Welcome back. Today I thought we'd do a painting that's right out of the heart of Alaska. We're going to start with a black canvas, which I've already covered with a coat of Van Dyke brown and Prussian blue. And these colors are transparent, so it'll still look black. In this painting, we want to show the moon in the sky with some happy little clouds floating around. We'll put some almighty mountains, some beautiful frost-colored bushes, and we'll see what happens from there. I'm going to start with a little titanium white. And we'll start right up here where we want the moon to be. And just make little X's. And just start working them around. You want to start from the center and work outward so the light gets progressively darker as it moves away from the moon. And we'll go out in this direction so that it hits the curvature of the earth and bounces back up. Okay, there we go. Now already you should be able to see how the white paint is beginning to pick up the color underneath. And we'll just blend this together. There we go. Okay. Now we don't want to let this get too bright. We still want it to look like night when we're finished. So just work it around and around and all the way out to the edges. And we'll do a little over in here. Now then, we'll take the large brush and very gently we'll bring this together just by making little X patterns. There we go. Now. Makes all the little actions in the sky. Okay, then we'll come across. Now let's put the moon in. And we'll do that by taking a clean brush and we'll load it full of white paint and we go right straight into the canvas where we want the moon to be. And we push quite hard. And push the paint right into the canvas. Just turn it. There. Okay, then with a knife, very carefully, we'll take off just the excess paint. Let me clean this old big brush out here. There we go. Now, very gently, we'll bring this together. Just work it back and forth. And create the illusion of a moon sitting up here in the sky. Okay. Now then, let's put some happy little clouds in here. And we'll use the almighty Fran brush and we'll just use this blue and brown color. And load it full of paint. And we'll take, just using the corner, and we'll put in some happy little clouds. Just let one float right across the moon here. A lot of paint on the brush. Okay. There we go. Now maybe you can, let's say right up here, we'll put another happy little cloud. A little sneaky cloud running around here at night. There we go. And you're pushing this paint into the canvas. Really work it into the canvas. Maybe down here we've got some little delicate clouds that are just floating around. Very small little clouds. There we go. Just lay them in. Okay. Now let's clean the fan brush. And wipe him dry. And we'll take a little bit of titanium white mixed with just a little bit of the same color. And we'll push some highlights in here. Just take the fan brush and just work the corners. Just the corner of the brush. And just push some paint right in here. There. A little light playing across the top of this cloud. Maybe right along here. This is your world, so wherever you want light to strike this cloud, let it happen. Okay, and let's put some highlights right along these little ones right here. And we're pushing quite hard with this. We want to, once again, we want to push the color right into the material if possible. There we go. Now, on this cloud up here, since it's above the moon, the light's going to strike the bottom of it. So we'll put the highlights on the bottom rather than on the top. There. Maybe a nice little thing right out through here like that. Maybe a little light striking around up in here. Just a little something playing. Okay, now we'll take the big brush. Be sure it's dry and clean. And we're just going to gently hypnotize this just to bring it together. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. Look at all the little things that happened in this cloud. This is unplanned. It really just happens. You really can't control what's going to happen here. Don't try to. Don't fight it. Use what happens. Okay, let's make a happy little mountain now. We'll take some blue and some brown, still using the same color. And we'll draw in our basic mountain shape here. Here we go. Really push. Really forcing that paint into the material. Maybe we'll make this one come up a little higher so we can see clouds behind it. Okay, we'll use a large brush and pull that paint down. This removes any excess that we have left on the canvas, because we're trying to get all the paint off the canvas that we possibly can. Clean the brush. Once again, we clean the brush with odorless paint thinner. Now let's put some snow on the mountain. We'll take some titanium white and just a little touch of blue. Just a little blue. Okay. And let's let some snow just run right down this mountain. Just let it break and play. This is a very delicate touch. Very light touch. You're almost touching the canvas with a knife. Oh, here's a nice little ridge. Let's let this little ridge just play around like that. And there we go. And we'll put a little bit of light right on this little peak. Let it just break and play. Now we're going to use blue and white mixed to a darker value for the shadow. And we'll start right here and let this just follow right along. Let it go. Okay. And we'll put a little shadow behind this one. There we are. Maybe all the way over here, a little shadow. Each highlight needs its own private shadow. And we can bring this down a little further. As you work on these mountains, you begin seeing all kinds of little things happening. Use what you see. Don't plan it. And maybe we'll put a little ridge right here. Oh, there's another one. I see him right there. There he is. Okay, now let's lay the bottom of these mountains into a little bit of mist. Clean, dry brush, and all we're going to do is tap, always following the angles that we've created in the mountain, down like so. Just tap. Okay, over here we'll follow these angles and tap in this direction. Okay, a little bit here. Then we're going to lift upward just enough to take out the little tap marks. There we go. Okay, now we're getting a nice little misty effect over here. There, we just work that right out. And we're ready to come forward. We've created some almighty mountains in just a few minutes here. Okay. Now we'll take a little more of the blue and brown, and back to one of our golden rules. You need dark in order to show light. So we're going to start by putting some dark on here. We load a lot of paint into the brush, and we just push some little bushes right out of the right out of the brush. There he comes. There he is. Just putting some dark on so we'll have some light showing. All right. Okay, now we can take a brush. We use a little bit of magic white and a little bit of plain white. Thin paint will stick to a thick paint, so we're thinning the paint just a little bit. Then we're going to push some beautiful little snow-covered trees way back in the distance on here. There, look at those son of a guns. There they are. Just hundreds of little trees, little bushes, all these things happening way back there. Okay, now we'll take the big brush and clean it up a little bit. And when we have all these nice bushes here, we need some reflections. So we take a clean brush, just a little bit of white paint on it, and we'll pull that down. Just grab a hold, pull. Make these nice streaks. This is mixing with the color that we have underneath, the blue and the brown. And these lines need to be straight down for reflections. Isn't that a fantastic way to make reflections? Now we'll go across just enough to give it a watery effect. We don't want to destroy all those lines. We just want to make it look like it's in the water. Okay. Let's lay a little touch of snow along there. And we'll just take the knife with a little paint. Just put some little snow right along. Ooh, better get your coat out. This is going to be a cold painting. I may have to go find my old mucklucks and put them on. In Alaska, we have a word for people who have came to the great country and have only been there a short period of time. And it's called Chichako. And if you've been in Alaska less than a year, you're a Chichako. So maybe you learn a new word today. And where I live, it's not unusual for it to get 60, 70 degrees below zero. We have a thing in nature that happens, it's called ice fog. Normally it has to be about 30 below or colder. And this ice fog coats everything, every little branch, with little crystals of ice that weigh almost nothing. But they create unbelievable beauty. Light plays through these little crystals and acts as little prisms and breaks up the light, and you see all the fantastic colors shining and shimmering, and it is really something. Okay, here I'm just scratching right through the paint. Make it look like little trunks. Alrighty, let's take the almighty fan brush. Now, during this series we have made trees with a 2.5-inch brush, with a 1-inch brush, and a fan brush. So all of these brushes you can use to create almighty trees. Today we're going to try the fan brush. Load a lot of paint into the brush. Figure out where you'd like to have a beautiful little tree. And just touch. And just using the corner of the brush, just begin building some little limbs on here. There we go. And we're still using the blue and the brown. Come right down there. That looks like a good place for a tree. And we'll push some paint right into the canvas. Okay, maybe we need one over here that's sort of tired, sort of leaning over a little bit. In nature, trees grow in every direction. And we'll put another one right here. These trees are so much fun, I get started on them, I have a hard time stopping. And we'll put another one right there. As we work forward, we want these trees to begin getting much larger to show distance in this painting. And so many of the techniques where people paint very rapidly, the paintings are very flat, very overworked, washed out looking. In this technique, you can create depth that is unbelievable, distance in paintings. And this is how we do it. We use size, we use color. All of these things combine together to create the illusion of distance in a painting. Alrighty, well, let's do some more trees. We'll put some on the other side over here. Put an almighty tree up here. There he is. Very dark. Okay, just let that tree just come right out of your fan brush. Trees live in your fan brush, but you have to scare them out. And it takes a little practice. The first time it's going to be a little touchy. The next time it gets easier. Each time you do it, you learn from it. You progress. I've painted for 20 years and I'm still learning. Every day I learn. Spend time studying nature if you wish to paint nature. You must understand nature. Talk to trees, look at the birds, whatever it takes. Okay? Now then, let's do an almighty tree, big tree. We'll come right over in here. Okay, here he comes. Big old tree. You got your coat out yet? You may need it here any second. Now, the paintings like this on the black canvas, you can do a multitude of things with this. Multitude. You can use all different colors. All you're looking for is a color that's transparent so the black shows through. Use this black to your advantage. I'll have another tree right there. There we go. There are a lot of people we have taught to do these black canvas that are absolutely making a living out of it now. And we have literally taught thousands and thousands of people to be almighty painters, to create things of beauty they never dreamed possible. And you can do it too. You can do it. Just jump right in here and paint along with us. We'll teach you how to do it. We'll make a happy painter out of you also. Okay, I think that's enough trees for right now. Let's take a little bit of white and blue mixed together. Looking for a dark blue here. And let's go right into this area here and let's put some happy little bushes and trees back in here. All this is the shadow color. We put the shadow on first and then we'll highlight it. And while we got the shadow in here, let's put some right into the water. We'll just reflect some of this right in here. Okay, now, let's have some bushes over on this side also. Just start bringing this painting together. Now, at home you have unlimited time. You can sit and come up with all kind of fantastic things to do in this. You can put tremendous detail. Here we are limited on time, so we're trying to give you ideas. We're not trying to just give you something to copy. We're trying to give you an idea to teach you a technique so that you can use this and make unbelievable things. Back into the magic white and the titanium white, and we'll make some happy little bushes here. Look how that color stands out against the black. There we go. And as you work more and more with this, you will know just by pulling the brush through the correct consistency of the paint, if it's too thin, if it's too thick. It's only a matter of time where you can pull the brush through that paint and almost tell what brand it is. Now we'll just come across. We're going to turn this into beautiful little reflections. And while we got the brush loaded here, let's do this one right here. Big tree here. There we go. A little more of the magic white. And we'll come right down here and put a happy little bush. Now, let's reflect these right into the water. Just let them reflect. Okay, clean off the brush. That's the most fun of painting, is beating your brush. It's a good way to get rid of all your anxieties and hostilities. Look at those reflections, but it's a very gentle touch. Now we take a little bit of white paint. We'll just put some snow in here for all these things to sit on. There we go. Okay, a little bit of dark paint. We'll put some trunks in, some stems. There we are. This sort of gives the tree body, gives it shape, and it also shows distance in a painting. Use these to your advantage. Okay, take a little magic white and make us a waterline under here. Just use a thin paint to make your waterline. It'll flow off the knife. Alrighty. There we go. Nice little waterline. Okay, let's put some happy little bushes over here on the other side now. And we'll start right here. Put a nice one there. Leave a lot of these dark areas showing. Be careful that you don't cover them all up. Your painting will get very, very flat. Look at all the snow on those. Okay. And work them in layers so you have distance in here. Do one bush at a time. Okay, we'll put a few little sticks in here. Okay. Now then, let's lay a little snow onto this side. Just using straight titanium white. This is very firm. And let it break so you have shadows showing through. Just like when we do the mountains, let it break. Okay, there we go. And we lay the snow in like so. Now maybe there was an old trapper that lived out here, and one day he went to check his beaver traps, and maybe he fell into the river here and drowned, but his old cabin's still here. So let's draw an old cabin, and I suggest you scrape it with a knife first. Scrape out the basic shape. It gets rid of the thin, loose paint underneath. It's also a good way to lay out your general shape of your cabin, get your perspective right. There we go. Just very basic shape, that's all we're looking for. Big thing is to get rid of all that loose paint. Now we'll take some Van Dyke brown, and we'll do the far eave out here first. There we go. Now we'll take some titanium white, and let's lay some snow on the roof. Just bring us all together. There we go. Now we need to have a little snow on the other side of the roof, so we'll just take a little white on the knife and lay it in like so. A little more brown, and we'll begin putting all this together. There we go. What a fantastic way to make a little cabin. And if you want to make it look even older, you can take just a little bit of the white paint and let it just sort of bounce along here. Very gently. Just let it touch and bounce. A little more dark to create the shadows on top. Ooh, look at that. Look how old that wood looks. It's a super way to make old buildings and stuff if you ever want to try it. Okay, I think we need a door in here now. Somebody might come along and need to stay in this old cabin, so he's got to have a way to get in. There we go. put some highlights around the door just by using the knife. And probably when this old trapper lived here, he's just like all the rest of us. He ran out of room. So he probably built him a little shed out here. So we'll just build us a little shed. Just bring a little snow for the roof first. There we go. Just like so. Take a little bit of dark paint. A little brown. And we need a wall over here, so we'll just drop it in. There. Okay, let's make this an old slab cabin, so we'll just cut in some slabs here with the point of the knife. There we go. And we can take a little white and clean this all up. By now you should begin having a painting that's beginning to take shape, beginning to look well. Should be very happy with it. And I think we've said it before, but painting should do one thing for you. It should create happiness in your heart. It should make you happy. Let's put a little bush right here. Just let a few of these run down. Maybe another little bush right here to sort of push this cabin back into the painting. Right along like that. Okay, we need some highlights on this little bush. There we go. Okay, and we'll cut a few little sticks here and there. We're just cutting right through the light paint, letting the dark show through. All right. This painting's beginning to get close to being done. Let's take the fan brush here. Now normally I would leave these trees very dark. I want to take a little bit of blue and just tap a little so you can see them a little better at home. Just to give you an idea. Normally I leave them very, very dark so they really give the impression of nighttime. Like so. Okay, just here and there. Just a few little highlights. There. And just a few over here. Like so. There we go. Alrighty, I think we're going to sign this painting and call it finished. Take a little of the thin oil and let's sign him right here. I hope you've enjoyed this painting. It is a great deal of fun. We have certainly enjoyed being with you today. And I hope you've painted along with us and you also have an almighty painting. All you need is the dream in your heart and the desire to put it on canvas. Until next time, we wish you happy painting. Thank you very much.